I think. We'll be getting a link to the recording so you can go over a lot of the things that we've discussed here. So, so that's what Parasol is, and that's who I am. As for what this event is, like I've said, Kate is here to just share her experience. There's nothing as powerful as seeing somebody who you can relate to telling you how they did something that you want to do. It's a very, very powerful thing. I can come and talk, and you'll be like, hey, Bankole is talking, he knows this, he does that. But like when you see someone who you can relate to even more, sharing things of how she got into a position you want to get into, I think it's a very, very powerful thing. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing this webinar, to do that. There'll be more to come over the next few weeks. Quite a few of our people have been very, very gracious in volunteering to share their experience, and we really appreciate them for it. So as we start, once again, if you want to join the WhatsApp group where you get quicker updates on everything that is going on, I'm posting the link again, because I think on Google Meet, if you join after a message has been posted, you won't see it. So I'm posting again for those of you that haven't gotten it. And if you want to join the talent pool, so that when we are screening for positions and everything, you're already in our database and we'll reach out to you, I'm adding the link for that too in the chat. All right. And also, look, you all feel free to take the links and share with people who you think need it. Anna, who spoke here last week, that was how she found out about Parasol. It was somebody in one of these meetings that saw a job opportunity and was able to reach out to her, and tell her to apply for the job, and she's with us now. One final thing, I'll be sharing a job opening later on in the hour. I'll look for the link and post it. We have 30 slots for cybersecurity analysts. We need to hire 30 cybersecurity analysts for a US-based company. So I'll be sharing the link with you guys. If any of you can take advantage of that opportunity, feel free to do so. If you have friends or family or your network can take advantage of that opportunity, please share with them also. In fact, let me do that now. You guys just give me a second. Sorry, Kate. Thanks for being so patient. All right. Found it. The deadline for application ends on Tuesday next week. So they need to move quickly. It'll be closing on Tuesday next week. All right, so let's get to what we are here for. How are you doing, Kate? What's going on?
Hey, Baraki, I'm doing great. And you?
I'm very good. So let's get started. What was your background before joining Parasol? Like, what was your career leading up to that point?
Okay, thank you for that question. Hi guys, once again, my name is Kate. Before now, I've had educational background in business administration. I've worked in retail, and before Parasol, I was working as a business development person, salesperson for a health insurance agency. So that was what I was doing before Parasol, and also before then I was working as an administrative assistant. Even while my NYSC period, I was also working as an administrative person at a private school.
All right, interesting. So, if you don't mind, what do you do now? What's your current role?
Okay, so my current role, I work as a virtual administrative assistant and also operations assistant. Help me with administrative stuff and operational stuff to a director.
All right. So what we're going to do, we'll get into that a bit more later, and I'm sure people are going to have a lot of questions about that. But let's 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 go through your history up to where how we got here. So how did you how did you get in touch with Parasol? Like how did you discover Parasol or find out about Parasol, or how did you get to us?
Okay, right. So, while I was working as a as a business development, the health insurance agency that I mentioned, I was also looking out to break into the remote space. Working, I just wanted more, and I was actively applying online and social media, and I think I came across Parasol talent pool. That was the form to fill to become part of Parasol's talent pool. In one of I can't remember, but I do remember that it was through a social media. I came through the advert somewhere, and I saw it and I went ahead and filled the form. I'm like, okay, so it doesn't cost me to fill this form. Even you'd be laid back on Nigerian companies, but yeah, I filled the information. Um, and then I think 2 weeks, or I don't think it took so long because I would have remembered 2 weeks later, I got reached out by the Parasol team through my email to join, webinars such as this. I was getting alerts on my email on engagements with Parasol. And then this fateful day, I got called by a Parasol team member to let me know of an opportunity that they think I may be a great fit for. And we had like a brief, interview over the phone, explaining what I've done in the past, what my skills and experience are. And from there it just moved ahead to letting me know the interview. At first I was kind of okay, that was really fast. Everything was happening. Everything was happening so fast. I got called about my career nesting. They're telling me the interview is scheduled for like next week, in the next 3 days, and I had to get ready for but yeah, so that was it to that point. And I got I was also sent like the interview preparation guide on the questions that could be sent. Like the process was, I didn't have any idea. I've never interviewed with an international company before, so I had no idea what I was doing. But the team really helps out with that. We went through the conversation on what to talk about, how international the structure which the interview would go, and all of that, and that really helps the process. And at some point, I'm like, okay, what's it for these people? Why are they helping me this much? Will they, will they ask for my life
Why are
or
they helping
something?
you this much?
you know, and to the point of 3 hours before the interview, do you have network? Do you have lights? Do you need to go somewhere where you need the network? It was all guiding me through what kind of system do you use? Even 1 hour, are you sure your network is okay? The test running to make sure that my system was working, the audio was working. So yeah, up to the point where I had the interview, it was incredible.
I'll give people an idea of what the interview was like, because I was talking to someone who did an interview a few months ago, and what she noticed was the funniest thing. Her own was that she had never heard Americans. She felt like Americans talked too fast. So she
Mhm.
was just like, when do I interview her? She was just, who's what was so that was actually what destabilized her. She was just like, she had, okay, yeah, I watch movies, I talk, or I also like it. I listen to but like, they are just talking really fast, and she was just struggling to deal with that. So what was the interview process like for you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly how she said it. You watch movies, but in real life, you're like trying to catch the question. That was fast. You're trying to catch the question because they're talking really fast, and you need to. I was very nervous, at first, because you know how it is interviewing in Nigeria. There's all so much tense and seriousness. But I think the interview went well once I realized that these are the interview was quite carefree. It wasn't so rigid, at some point she had to tell me, oh, that I should relax. I was like, okay, I'm so sorry, I'm nervous. I was like, just relax. Let me to take my time and relax, and once I got that feedback of, just calm, um I was able to, express myself. Really, it was just like having a better conversation. It was easier, to flow with the conversation then, because the interviewer was quite, laid back. That's the word. It wasn't all serious as the interview we do over here in Nigeria. Like the face is straight and like, yeah. So the interview went well.
All
I was
right.
nervous
All
at
right.
first, but
Sorry.
got the hang of it. I said I was nervous at first, but I got the
Mhm.
hang of it.
All right. All right. Okay. Before we continue, what tip would you give for people who interview? Like, if there's one tip that you would give, what would you give?
Okay, so I have a lot of tips actually.
Mhm. Feel free to share them. Like so.
So I think firstly you need to be prepared. You know, think about what you want to talk about. There are basic questions that definitely you'll be asked during an interview. Tell me about yourself and things like that. So you need to be able to, write that out somewhere. Make sure you know how to sell yourself. It's like an elevator pitch. Meeting somebody for the first time, you want to sell yourself, able to have that, 1 minute, tell me about yourself, being able to express yourself. That is the first point where you actually sell yourself. And from there, that's when the interviewer actually picks up question to ask you further things about what you spoke about. And just also being confident. You need to be confident because that would tell a lot about yourself. Being able to express yourself, they're looking at the way you speak, the way you present yourself. These are very important things that you need to, work on. So being confident and being able to keep calm and explain yourself. So those are really important tips. Be prepared for the interview and be calm and speak well and express yourself well. And also I think another thing is don't talk for too long. If you say tell me about yourself, you just take a minute. Don't tell your entire they get bored
I
easily.
am the fourth of five children. My village is in the northeast of
At that
Gongola State.
point, I'm telling you, they have zoned out. So
Oh,
give
oh,
relevant stuff. They like to go straight to the point. So don't beat around the bush. Just go straight to the point. Yeah. So those three things are very important.
all right, awesome. Now, so what was your first week like? Like where you now got in? Did you just get in and you are now a superstar? Like you
Oh
are
my
ready to
god.
do everything? But what was the first week like?
So for me personally, I take time to adjust to new roles or new places or things like that. So it was a lot for me because it was the first time working with international company. But firstly, coming in the Parasol team because I work from the Abuja branch. So the team really helps, setting me up, with the system and where to, cover the environment and things like that. So that was the first, having to settle in. And also, I mean, I had to focus on my part as the employee, but the Parasol team was helping out with every infrastructure and every environment to make me, succeed and all of that. So I didn't have time to, bother about if my laptop or the light is going to go off or if my system goes off or things like that. So I there was a lot of information, trying to adjust to a new type of system, and all of that. But and Parasol did, got walk me through an onboarding on how American work culture is and things like that. So that I had an idea. So I didn't go like blindly. So But yeah, it was it was, I would say, for me it was kind of tough, but once I realized, observe, and be able to grasp what my responsibility was, which is very important. It's good to understand first. It's good to ask questions.
Mm.
Things you don't understand, just don't be scared to ask it. Is rather than you keep asking than doing the wrong thing. My boss will say, I'm giving you apples, they'll give me oranges, so I'm asking for apples, they give oranges. So that's really that's really important. Don't go giving oranges when you're asked for apples. So yeah, so feel free to ask questions. That was what really helped me a lot. If I did not understand something, especially trying to understand the language barrier, right?
Mm.
I'm like, if if they tell you something, you want to be like, just to get you clear. You said I should do this and do this and do this, right? So you're getting clarification on what is asked of you. So yeah, I think for me, I really went on with that asking question thing. So
Mm. Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think Anna talked about this too last week, and well, we too we've gotten complaints from US employers about how like Nigerians don't like to ask questions.
Yeah.
And I'll just emphasize it again for people who didn't hear what like I it's a cultural thing.
Mm.
Here we really discourage people asking questions. Like, your boss tells you to do something. If you now come back, so do you want it black? My friend, didn't you listen? Use your common sense. Well, common sense needs good information to do, to give you apples if you want apples, not oranges, like
Right.
so like it's something that a lot of Nigerians deal with. They're very uncomfortable asking questions because asking questions here in Nigeria seems to project that it's equated with a lack of intelligence. Whereas over there, it's like, look, how will you know what I want if you don't ask me the questions? So all right, so that's good. If you were to and by the way, guys, remember again, reminder, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat. Um, any questions you want to ask Kate, please put it in the chat, and then we'll just address them immediately after we're done. If what you don't have to speak for all employers, you don't have to speak for everyone, just in your own experience, what are the we'll do two sides. So one, skills, and then I don't know how to call it, values. So what are the skills that they seem to value the most? And then after that we can then talk about what are the like temperament, like what kind of emotions, what kind of values, what kind of temperament do they seem to appreciate the most? So, but let's start like in terms of skill.
Okay. Do you mean like soft skills or technical skills?
Let's say technical skills, both, anywhere you want to go with it.
So, for the technical skills, I think it's important that if you want to go to the remote space, you need to understand the kind of um, s- you know, technical skills needed, like, okay, the Microsoft Office, the Microsoft Word, because you're working remotely. You have to know how to use these things. These are people you'll be talking over there. So these are two, either the Zoom workspace, the Google workspace, or the Microsoft workspace. This is a must have. It's just like having a building. You must have
Mm-hmm.
an office to work it. So
Mm-hmm.
that is something you must know how to use. It's a very added advantage, and also communication skills. That's very important as well. Being able to communicate real well. I know that what's the word, language barrier, things like that, but it's good to communicate very well. Put your being able for them to understand you well. um, so for the soft skill, the one on my top list would be being proactiveness. They really appreciate that, you know, going ahead. You're discussing in a meeting, you're asking, you're going ahead, you're thinking outside the box, you're being proactive, you're following up, and things like that. So that adds a lot. That's a valuable thing for them, being, I know, like, you said the way it is in Nigeria, we have rigid bosses, but in for the American culture, it's kind of a flatter hierarchy where it's okay to have your own opinions, have be able in the meeting, be able to contribute, you know, and yeah, contribution, being able to contribute, adding value, then not just sitting in a meeting and being quiet. You don't add value, you don't follow up on things. So that's yeah, because for them, they're very outspoken, they're open. So that's something you integrate. But I guess most importantly, once you get in the general sense, once you get to a company, you need to observe first, kind of be observant of how your company work culture is, how in meetings, let's say in your first few meetings, you observe how other team members are interacting as well, and things like that. So these are things you take notes of the first few times, and then you know so you don't cross that, or you don't do something that
Yeah.
so yeah.
All right. I think one of the things that, at least on our end, from what we see, two words that keep coming up with regards to what they look for in terms of temperament of candidates. They keep saying confidence and dynamism. And you said that here. So they want you to be confident and dynamic. For me, dynamic, or not just for me, I think what they mean is, like you said, be proactive, be a proactive problem solver. So the person has, so maybe your line manager or your boss or something has an idea that is like number one. You're able to take it to number 2, 3, 4, 5, So they appreciate that, because that means that, oh, fine, like Tiniola has already, like, she's got this. Now I can face other things because I know that she's taking care of this. Or like, she's going to help me. If there's anything I miss, Tiniola will see it. So those two things are the things that I keep hearing a lot of: confidence and dynamism. What did they ever give you feedback on why they hired you? Like, have you gotten, like, did they tell you, oh yeah, this is why we went with you? And if you want to, can you share that with us?
Did I ever get a feedback? So I think what stood out was being what's the word now? Open to learning, liking challenges, and being an organized person. So I think that was what stood out. My zeal to want to evolve, want to learn new, to want to take on a new challenge, and things like that. But I think generally, most importantly, from what I have experienced, apart from the experiences that you have, the skills that you have, some don't mind hiring entry level or things like that, but they just want to see like a potential of you being able to adapt or quickly learn. That's why during the interview, I said it's very important to sell yourself, like even if you don't have like a bulk of years of experience on particular things. If you show that, oh, you're a confident person, you're reliable, you're proactive, you have an idea of these tools, certain types of tools that they are looking for, and things like that. Yeah, that stands out.
So, like you had shared with us, you had done some business development work, some administrative assistant work before. What is, or you can say more than one, what's the biggest difference between, what would you say has been your biggest difference between working for Nigerian companies and working for your current employer in the US?
So I think is more like so it's more like my roles are clearly defined, right?
Mm,
Clearly defined role, good communication. Like there's always team meeting and communication on what next to do, and things like that. While for the Nigerian company, you just have something to do and just go ahead and do it. There's no rubbing minds with the boss. You won't even see the boss to rub minds.
All right. So you think basically there's a clear direction from them. They tell you exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, they're very straightforward.
Mm.
Very
All right.
straightforward,
And
and yeah, and having to there's a good communication line as well.
mm, mm. All right. All right. And so like what so far, what would you say has been outside of so what's been the difference for you outside of just the work now? Has it changed your life or it's still the same? Like what's the growth? Has there been a growth trajectory of any sort for you?
Oh yes, there
Mm,
has been. So where I work, you don't just stick to what you do admin stuff and just stick to admin stuff. You're being open to learn other skills as well. Let's say you could be open to even learning like social media stuff. So yeah, there's been a lot of growth for me because apart from just general handling administrative stuff, I've been open to other departments and other teams and helping with other projects and things like that. So I yeah, I've I've grown. I've grown.
mm.
My communication skill has improved. I have this friend who was telling me that, oh, since when you started working with this company, you're just speaking well. Your speaking has changed.
Uh, oh, wow. All right. So I'm going to ask you one more question, then we'll now throw it open for questions. Um, what would be your advice to anybody who is, trying to get into this space? Like everybody's trying to, I mean, it's been over the last 3 years, I think the Naira has dropped by, is it like 270% or so? Like, so everybody is seriously looking for options. People are working within the country, like the degree you have is not relevant outside of, Nigeria. They are trying to find a way to you just make yourself like what would I say useful to
Yeah.
companies outside. So like what advice would you give to someone who let's say I think a better way to ask this would be what advice would you give to somebody who was where you were, let's say about a year plus or a year ago, like to put themselves in a position to be able to get these kind of opportunities?
Okay, so what I would advise is, like I said, learning new tools, research is important. It's different working on site and trying to work remotely. That's a whole different thing. You need to understand the concept, the what working remotely means. So I feel like first thing you need to research on working remotely, what it's like, basic tools being used, as simple as video call, share your screen, share your screen. Let me see your screen. You don't want to get on the call and you don't know how to navigate through this thing. So watch YouTube videos on how to use basic tools. And then secondly, resume. You need to work on your resume. Your resume needs to stand out because that's almost like the first point of contact to even reach out to you. So working on your resume is really important. Making it friendly, avoiding like the picture, the especially if you want to break with international companies, straightforward resume, clarity is very important. They don't want to take time reading 4 pages resume or irrelevant information. So you want to put all the information. Like, okay, so I'm going to go back to the apples and oranges now. So if you're looking for apples, your resume has to look like an apple ingredient, right? So yeah, resume preparation is very important. So you have to sell yourself there to be even able to. So I guess for me, it wasn't just about putting myself on the form. If I had like a weird type of resume or it wasn't informative, I don't think anybody would have reached out to me about an opportunity. So my resume stood out. So yeah, resume preparation is key. And and doing research and always looking for how to learn new tools, understanding those things, even if you don't know how to use it, to have a basic knowledge of it.
All right. Thank you so much. So I just want to touch on what Kate said about resumes. She's right. I've told people this story. I think there was a time when I think it was your people self that said, oh, they needed somebody the next morning, something ridiculous like that. Like, so within 18 hours. So overnight, we had to go through over 200 resumes. So recruiters, a lot of times, there's this thing they call this, is this 6-second rule? They only look at a resume for 6 seconds before moving to the next one. So your resume has to be able to go. That's why what Kate said is so true. It has to go straight to the point. It has to be relevant to the job. So for example, let's say, once again, we're trying to hire an Apple, and in the first line, we see I'm an orange with 5 years of experience. I'm not reading any further. All right. I'm looking for the apples. Okay. And so, yeah, there's something I tell people about resumes. Resumes are like, think about your resume. Two things I tell people. One, resumes are not historical documents. They are marketing documents. They are meant to sell you. All right. And the other thing you need to keep in mind is like, a resume is, how many of you would go on your profile picture? I can see some of your profile pictures here, and you went and picked the finest picture inside your phone and put it there. Is that how you look every day? Is that how you look when you wake up? Is that how you look when you're eating and there's soup all over your mouth? No. Your resume is like your profile picture for your career. It's supposed to look interesting enough that somebody will now click on your profile picture to say, who is this person? Then they now see your caption. Then they now see your posts. Then they now decide to click follow. That's how your resume is. Your resume is like a profile picture for your career. So a lot of people do not capture their value or the value, what they are trying to get hired for in their resume. But anyway, so thanks again, Kate, for that. That was the last question I wanted to ask. So we'll now hand over to everybody. I can already see we already have a question. Oh, we already have a few questions in the chat. Before we start, I'm going to there are people who have come in since the last time. I'm going to post a few things so that you don't miss it. One, if you want to join the WhatsApp group, I've just pasted the link again. If you want to join the talent pool so that we reach out to you for any one of our opportunities, of course, if you are qualified for it, I'll post that again. And then finally, I just said we currently have 30 job openings. We want to hire 30 cybersecurity analysts for a security operations center analyst role. The deadline is on Tuesday. If you are qualified, please apply. If you are not, then please share with friends, family, your network of people who can benefit from these opportunities. So, question number one. Deborah is asking, what is the best means of developing the American accent and how do I build my confidence? Hey, this Kate is the expert on American accents. You're in the right place. So, Kate, please, you can hear how me I'm talking. My accent, they don't want to hear how my own accent is not up to scratch. It's not quality. But Kate, soon, how do we do it? How can we be like you?
So I'm going to tell you, Deborah, don't force it. So there's some candidates who try to force it and the communication is not clear, so don't force it. Just speak your accent and be clear with your communication. They know that you're African. They know that there's a language barrier. So just speak your normal English. The accent will come after you worked. It just comes natural. So don't force it. Don't try to, force the accent, because sometimes you might be like, what did you say? Just drop it and speak it clearly. So yeah, the accents will come naturally, but just speak clearly. That's most importantly, clearly speaking. And to build your confidence, that would come natural as well. You find out that they are laid back. So for me, at first, I'm like, when you're working for an educator, you just want to be humble and just be kept to yourself. But it's to come naturally. They will even engage in conversation like, "Oh, Deborah, how you doing today? What did you do last weekend, or what did you do during the weekend?" Oh, I had. So the confidence will come. You just relax. They are laid back people. So before you know it, your confidence is, just be yourself. Just be yourself, but don't overshare.
Yeah. That's huge. Don't overshare.
But just be
Oh,
yourself, yeah.
yeah, all right. I would also add something that, and you guys, if you have the replay, I think we'll try and look for a way to get you guys the replay for the last webinar too, where if those of you who heard Anna talk, Anna doesn't have an American accent at all. So what she said was same thing that Kate said, be clear. Another thing, if you notice the way Kate speaks, and if you attended last webinar too, the way Anna speaks, they don't speak fast, they speak slowly, like deliberately. The words don't run together. So you'd be surprised when you start paying attention to how you speak, you start realizing how unclear your communication can be. So pay more attention to the way you speak. Make sure you're clear that every word that you're pronouncing. It's not like every word you're pronouncing it clearly. Every word that you're pronouncing, Peace is laughing. Every word that you're pronouncing, pronounce it clearly. It's easier that way, all right? So, and like you said, as you're talking, you now start picking up some mannerisms that, start influencing the way you speak. And there's something I said last week, and I'll say again now. America is a nation of immigrants. Your accent is not strange to them. They are used to people having different accents from them. So it's not as strange as you would think, all right? And the tip I would give for building confidence is this. Whatever you are building, whatever you want to build confidence for, prepare. All right? Prepare. Kate said something. She was like, "Oh, that as she was interacting with them, her confidence started building." Why? She had prepared. She also had information on American culture, how to deal with people, and all that. So that had prepared her for what she was getting into. All right. Okay. So we have 10 minutes, so we'll need to get through. I think Hakeem, I'm still seeing your hand. Let me get through the questions in the chat. All right. From Talia, hi Kate. What's the most effective way to manage time zone differences without burning out?
Yeah, I did not talk about that, but it was hard at first.
Wait, just give us an idea of what your working time is, or like what's that? What's it like?
Yeah, so mine, we are 5 hours ahead of the time of my employer. So their morning is my afternoon, right? So At first it was your body system will try to start to adjust, to it. It's you're a human being. It's going to be hard at first, but don't pay too much mind to it. Your body will adjust. We all adjust to things, change to change or things like that. So at first it'd be difficult. Accept it. You're a human being, but it's you adjust. Before you know it, your body is more alert in the night. and and at first, they're coming on the call, you're saying good morning, yours is afternoon. So now I'm so used to it that I get to the office with my colleague, I'm like, good morning, it's afternoon, I'm saying good morning. So it's with time, you would just give yourself like 3 weeks tops, you will adjust to it. It's going to be totally natural for you. Yeah, your body will adjust to it.
All right. So I hope that addresses your question. Talia, you also asked, okay, no, let me go to Abdul Hakim. Before you ask this question, I think Abdul Hakim agreed. So Abdul Hakim, what's your question?
Okay, hi, Uncle. Thank you for this wonderful session. My question is regarding the opening question. I don't know if I can ask. The question is not really directed. Okay.
Sorry, Abdul Hakim, I'm not hearing you clearly. Can you hear him?
No, I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, but a bit louder, please. Yeah.
Okay, my question is regarding the job opening you posted, not really directed to Kate.
Oh, okay.
Can I ask?
Yes, please.
Okay. My question is, the role, is it only restricted to SOC analysts or other aspects of cybersecurity specialists can apply? That's one. Then second, one of the requirements you mentioned that it's on-site only. So being an American company, I want clarity on that requirement. I don't know if you got the question.
The second, I get the first part of it. The second part of it, I'm not quite clear on it. So
yes, the requirement you said on-site yes. Only, yes. So I want clarity on that.
Okay.
Because on-site means you have to be within the premises.
Oh no, we're not flying you to the US. So I'll get to. Let me answer that part first. So, on-site means that you will be working from one of our facilities. So all the jobs that we provide, people have to work from. The reason why the employer works with us is because we provide the facility for the staff to work from, so that they are not having issues with internet, they are not having issues with the power grid, national power grid collapses. In fact, yesterday, I think throughout yesterday, I don't know whether I had it on the call. Throughout yesterday, there was no light. The inverter, they had to run the gen over, like, so everything. So far as you are working from our facility, work is uninterrupted. And that did, for a lot of US companies, they don't have the patience for it. Have the things they are trying to do. They don't care that NEPA is terrible. They just want to, right? So you have facility. For our interview, we recommend people, come and interview from our facility so that you won't have any issues. Okay. With regards to the role, the additional context I can add for you is that if you're already a cybersecurity, if you already work in other areas of cybersecurity, I would recommend that you still apply, because from what I understand of the role, it's kind of like I don't want to minimize it, but it's kind of like a technical customer service role that the person who is going to be handling that process has to have a good understanding of cybersecurity, from what I understand, from what I've been told. All right. So I would say that if you already have an understanding of the cybersecurity space, I would recommend still apply. Still apply. The form is quite clear on what is required for the role and all that. And then if you're called for an interview, that's fine. All right. So I would recommend that you apply. So does that address your question, Dr. Hakim? Okay. I'll just proceed. Okay. Fantastic. So Talia, your second question, looking back, and I'm sure this is for Kate, looking back, what do you wish you had known before taking your first remote / international role?
Okay, Talia. So firstly, I'm going to say if you're part of Parasol team, then you're in good hands. So like I said earlier, I didn't know anything. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I didn't know about, I've never interviewed with an international company. I don't know what the work culture is, but Parasol do take, if I believe, take webinars and trainings on all of these things. So it kind of keeps you informative. And like I mentioned earlier, research is very good. Watch YouTube videos on interviews, how people, there are a lot of things on YouTube now, how to prepare for interviews. You see video of somebody actually doing like an interview on YouTube. So watching videos on that, things like Reddit or things like that, just basic research on what it's like working remotely, basic terms, used and things like that. So that would help you be prepared, as Mr. Banky had mentioned earlier, being prepared to know what you'll be getting into. And of course, while on the job, you have an opportunity to learn a lot of things. I'm not sure if that answered the question.
All right. All right. So let's move on to the next question. Tiniola says, "Hi, Kate." I'm the one adding Kate. While working, do you use a time tracker, and are you paid per hour or monthly?
Yes, we use a time tracker. We have a clock in and clock out device that calculates your hours of being worked when you come in and close. Because you're expected to work. Well, it depends on the company, but most part, mine is full time. 40 hours a week, Monday to Friday. Have to clock in the morning. Their morning, my afternoon. So yeah, we have we have a time tracker where you have to clock in as well. Some even have like an app, an internal app. Once you clock in, you have to clock into their own internal device, so it calculates your hours of being active in that work.
All right. I think that addresses that. So does that answer your question, Tinuola? I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. All right. So thanks, guys. Thanks again, Kate. We're almost done. It's almost 11 o'clock. And I really, really appreciate you, Kate, for taking the time out. Like I said, I really know that you guys work hard during the week. And, what's the time now in the US? This is like 6 a.m. in the US, on a Saturday morning. So she's been up 5 a.m. US time to 6 a.m. US time to come and share this session with us. So I really appreciate you again, Kate.
It's my pleasure.
One of the things that I really appreciate with Kate and the rest of the team that works with us is they are opening doors for everyone else. They are doing such a fantastic job that it's giving us a good reputation. At this point in time, it's probably still going through word of mouth, but the aim is for us to start building a reputation of having really, really good people out here. And Kate is one of the people that is doing that. So once again, Kate, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming in. And I hope for everyone else, I hope we all got some value from everything Kate shared about where to start, how to position yourself, what to do about your CV. It's all this add up to put you in the position to be able to take advantage of these opportunities. So just some housekeeping as we close. Once again, don't say I never did anything for you people. If you want quick updates on the job openings, trainings, and other openings, I'm pasting the link again for anybody that has missed it. That's one. If you want to join the talent pool so that if there's any opportunity that we have, we can share with you. If we feel like a perfect fit. I'm putting that in too. So, and then if you have anybody that is in the cybersecurity space, we have 30 openings for a role in which people in the cybersecurity space can take advantage of. Deadline is on Tuesday next week. Let them apply. Share with the people that can take advantage of it. The other thing I would like to tell you guys is that we'll be having another edition of the webinar next week. I'm hoping I will check, but I'm hoping it's the accountant. I don't want to call his name, but the accountant that comes, so that you guys will also get to see what that even people who are accountants, who have more who have roles like that, what's it like working as an accountant from Nigeria with a US company, so that we can share that also. So we'll be doing this over the next few weeks. I would urge you take advantage of this. Nobody pays us to get a job with us. All right, nobody pays us. We don't collect money from you for you to get a job with us. By sharing this information, we believe that it's of value. We want this to spread as far and as wide as possible. So it's now up to you. You have the information, you have the direction. It's now up to you to use that and make something, give yourself, take advantage of the opportunities that we are bringing. So once again, thank you guys. Thank you, Kate. Really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who asked the questions and everything, because it allowed us to go deeper into some other things. And I wish you guys a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you guys again soon. All right, bye.
Bye, everyone.
All right.